So Erin Brockovich made a statement that this is one of the worst disasters she's ever seen. So I want to come back to you, Jenna, for a second. Tell me about the immediate impact to the residents, and if you have an idea of the population of the town, and also how fast did help come, and could you kind of walk people through about, because there's a lot of anger from the residents. I understand they're just not getting answers and not getting help. So could you kind of walk everybody through, here
So
we have this chemical, this poison that got released, and now animals are dying. We saw that pets are dying, right?
yeah,
So then go from there. Talk
so
about that.
the town has about like 4,500 residents, so not a giant, it's a village, not a giant location. Um, and then so when they set the stuff on fire, they did a mandatory evacuation for a mile radius. I'm not sure about how many people that encompasses, but when that happened, the Red Cross came in. So the Red Cross came in, they set up temporary shelter at the high school, which is like 1.1 miles away. So, right. So the Red Cross came in, they evacuated the people for a couple days. In those couple days, they rebuilt the tracks over whatever spilled on the ground and then told everybody it was safe to go home and send everybody back home. Right. So they just buried the dirt. There was oil in one of those, like there was oil that spilled also that nobody really talks about. But they didn't even like attempt to dig it up. They just put soil over it, built new tracks. And then my understanding is a train can't run through an evacuated town. And so they had to let the residents come back and then the train could run again. And
Wow.
so fast forward to like early March,
Mhm.
the residents threw up enough of a fuss. Norfolk Southern is now digging up one side of the train tracks at a time to like remove whatever toxins or chemicals or oil that are in the ground. And they've allowed people within a certain radius to temporarily relocate because of how bad it smells. And so
And
like
we're showing audios right now. There's a lot of creeks you mentioned in that town, and we're showing the rainbow water, meaning it's just all it looks chemically, right?
yeah,
Doing that right now.
and
So yeah, go
there's
ahead.
like nothing alive in those streams. The people are saying that there's things that are living. I was actually just at dinner with Professor Welton from Purdue tonight, and he
Mhm.
was like, there's not a thing alive in like Leslie Run, which is one of the areas that he was testing. Like there's no wildlife, no fish, no like whatever would be in a creek. Like there's nothing. He said there's sand, sediment, and water. Like so creatures aren't living in there.
Wow. So as far as like there were some initial reports of animal deaths and pet deaths, chicken deaths. Is that still happening? And what is the status of that? Because this is a partial farming community as well. What is going on with that?
Yeah, I know somebody who has a fox rescue and they've lost a couple foxes. I saw some controversy around the chickens, so I don't know like how true or accurate that was to begin with.
Controversy around chickens. Okay, well, we'll
Yeah.
go on. Okay.
So, but I did see the chickens that had died really quick, and there have been like smaller animals that have been found dead, deer that have been found dead, just that aren't naturally dead, and in a natural like world where a deer would be found, like if it died, there would be other animals eating it because that's just how this works. But these deer and like rabbits and stuff that are found dead are like not touched. Like they're all intact. And so it's a little bit weird. But nobody will officially say what's connected and what isn't. And so that's where like different science funding and independent testing is necessary. Like we're in a smaller community, it's not like we might not have all of the resources that are needed to determine what did cause deaths of different animals, but it's highly coincidental that it happened around the same time. So I think the biggest concern when it comes to livestock is like the way that like livestock are built genetically, they can withstand a lot more than, like, specifically like cows, they can genetically withstand a lot more toxins and stuff. Like, they have bigger organs, bigger bodies. And so the issue is now, like, if they're raising these cows for beef, like, can people consume it? And nobody, like, you can't get the right answers. I actually read a flyer today that was handed out by the Ohio Agriculture Division, and it says, if your pet seems sick, take them to the vet.
Okay.
Comment on that
Wow.
really quickly.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah, Alex, go ahead.
so when Jenna says that deer are dying, I want to paint a clear picture for this, for your audience and for you. It's not like deer are just being found randomly laying down in the forest or in someone's garden. The deer are being found in mass, laying down dead right in front of the river. So when we talk about, we have a video that was made by a reporter and journalist who came in and showed that beekeepers, their entire hives are dead, like hundreds of thousands of bees. From, we're not talking about like a bunch of animals dying. What we're talking about is a mass extinction.
Right.
And that's not hyperbole. That's 100% accurate. There is a complete die-off of about at least 90% of the animals that live within a certain vicinity, especially those who are drinking from the creeks. In fact, there's a clear direct correlation between any animal who drinks directly from the creek and their deaths, because we can clearly see deer just laying down dead in front of the river, clearly from some kind of poisoning. And fish, obviously, when you have a whole creek full of fish that just die, 40,000 or more of fish and frogs, like the entire biosphere, in terms of animals in that area just dying. It's obviously poisonous. There's no question that's clearly, there's no question that's connected. And then those same deer drink from that fish that breathe and they die. That's obviously connected as well. So the level of I just want to make it clear that what we're talking about is not like a few one-off deaths. It was a mass extinction that we can clearly correlate it to the area radius around this event.
Yeah, Reef just put up a photo there. I'm just really shocked there's not more coverage of this. It's such a significant event.